Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us in this, I think, really amazing session. We'll be driven by Jeff, by Cambium. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you stand.
Okay, so we'll talk about how to get better margins with Wi-Fi 6. So it sounds really interesting seeing all the, economic crisis, supply chain issues, and so on. So I think it's will be really and pretty interesting for everybody. Okay, so first of all, let me provide some inputs about who we are as Winncom. Okay, so I'll share some, briefing. Let me know. You can see my. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you very much. So the agenda is why Winncom Technologies, a briefing about us, why Cambium Networks, a briefing about who are Cambium Networks. Later on, GF will drive all the, the session regarding Wi-Fi positioning, why Wi-Fi 6, recent and the new, the most recent Wi-Fi 6 wins with some case studies, free marketing, training, and commercial tools. At the end, some questions in order, there is something that you need to know. So don't be shy, please, by chat or maybe by mail, whatever. Okay. So I'll provide you some inputs about why Winncom Technologies. Most of you, I think, I'm pretty sure that you know us as a distributor. Worldwide, we are a US-based company, but operating in many countries, in many regions as well. But I would like to highlight our, main values that many of you maybe don't know really well. Okay, so let me, in order to, I'm sorry because of the presentation. Okay, that's it. So we have said that we are one of the largest value-added broadband distributors. That's right, and I think all of us, acting like that. Mostly in this situation with the supply chain issues, I think Winncom is one of the largest stockists, worldwide, not only in Cambium, but also in other vendors as well. And we are moving stocks and containers worldwide, from any location to any other location where you need the material as well. Okay, so but beyond that usual profile or role as a distributor, we are much more than that. Okay, so our main values, as I tried to say to you before. Okay, so we provide extensive communication consultancy services. As a really consultant, listening to you, listening to your needs in order to, to provide the right solution at the right moment, and not only to cover your current needs, but also taking into account scalability for the future. Let me also put in value our human value, our staff as well, because we are over 250 employees in 15 countries, 15 countries, but out of them, 30 engineers with combined experience of over 450 years of experience, really certifying most of the vendors we are distributing with. That's also, professional staff with a deep background in telecommunications for a long time. On top of that, we are also working with over 80 complementary vendors supporting implementations of end-to-end projects. So that's why, we are not only fulfilling stock order, but we can, collaborate and help you in order to, to develop any project from the scratch. Technical engineering services from complete design to pre-configuring and kitting. And also, with the high-class online on-demand customer education center and certification training classes driven by certified engineer and certified trainers. For sure, we also provide pre-sales consulting and post-sales support with a project management team for every project that is required for that. Okay, So in a snapshot of the world, that's our, geographical presence right now, our footprint, but we are expanding, year over year, and mostly on the EMEA team. So as you can see, we just opened 3 to 4 new locations, and we are always, hiring new people with the, to join this amazing team we are. Regarding technologies, just only a briefing. As you can see in the left part, the technology solutions we cover, I think the complete spectrum of wireless technologies itself. The LTE, 4G, 5G, network management systems, network monitoring and virtual gateways, DAS system, distributed antenna systems for, to improve indoor coverage for cellular operators. And also, what is the topic right now, it's a wireless point-to-point, point-to-multipoint, license, unlicensed, and for sure, enterprise Wi-Fi wireless LAN that Cambium Networks is one of our main vendors we distribute with. To complement those technology solutions, we are providing supporting solutions, IoT solutions, let's say Industry 4.0, or site solutions, antenna cabling connectors, standard and custom built enclosures, clean power, green energy solutions as well, and for sure standard and unique accessories. And we try, to provide anything you could need in order to fulfill your needs as well. Not only, our main vendors we are distributing with, but also we are always looking for new solutions, new technologies, and new vendors, but always, based on the high quality and most important carrier class solutions. As a snapshot of our, main vendors we distribute, you have broadband and Wi-Fi. You can see, I think the really well-known vendors in the market. You have antennas, you have a lot of, complementary solutions like infrastructure, power and surge protection, smart home office, even video surveillance for public safety and CCTV and security projects as well. And what is important is that, the bottom line, but it's I think the most important part of a Winncom that provide added value to all these vendor solutions. Is a complete consulting, engineering, design services, and certification trainings. So that being said, and based on that, we can, provide any solution to any requirement. Let's say in any vertical: education, hospitality, retail, healthcare, transportation, public safety, utilities, industrial communications, whatever. When we see there is a lack of a need of communication, we can, support you in order to get it happen. So that's why, our motto is #connecting the world, because we are trying always to connect people and connecting things in order to get everything and everybody connected. And we get that thanks to a strong and long-term partnership with best-in-class vendors as Cambium is. So just only, hope that this briefing provides you a full picture about who we are, not only a fulfilling distributor, but we can, and count on us for anything you could require for the future. Now, let's dive into the Cambium part. Will be, I think, I'm pretty sure that will be amazing. So, Jean-Francois. You are mute?
Yeah, okay. I'm muted, sorry. So now you should see, see me and hear me, fine. And when pressing the screen, is it displaying fine?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Now, yes.
Now, yes. Right.
That's wonderful. Thanks a lot, Carlos, for the introduction. Thank you, Agnieszka, for assisting us. And thank you, everybody, for attending this webinar today. Thank you for coming to this webinar, stopping for half an hour, 45 minutes with us, trying to understand, what are the benefits of Wi-Fi 6? When should you use Wi-Fi 6? Why? What will it be solving? As for challenges, in brief, how to use Wi-Fi 6. Of course, we mentioned making more margin. This is also one of the mottos of Cambium, enabling more margin to our distributors, but of course to our partners. Why? Because when comparing to competition, thanks to the fair price of Cambium products and the freemium licensing model, you do save money when purchasing Cambium, and moreover when purchasing Wi-Fi 6 equipment. Let me bring you through the Cambium Networks history, what we are providing as a portfolio. It's a huge portfolio. It's not only focusing on Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi in general, but end-to-end connectivity with all kinds of radio and radio links. So let me tell you more about Cambium Networks. So we're moving from connecting the world as a motto for Winncom to connecting the unconnected, really going after people, places, and things that are not yet connected, and that we can, thanks to our equipment, definitely connect with gigabit connectivity. With Cambium, we are a spun out of Motorola solution. We clearly left the Motorola solution BU in 10 years back. So it's a decade of excellence, a decade of being an independent company. So this is really important. This is the anniversary we are celebrating this year. We are focusing on wireless connectivity. We are a pioneer and one of the leaders worldwide of point-to-point and point-to-multipoint for ISPs, MSPs, carriers. Our HQ is based in Chicago, actually in the suburb of Chicago, in Illinois, in US. We have 700 plus employees across 6 continents. And if we're focusing on EMEA only, we are talking about roughly 200 people invested into R&D, sales, and technical support. Cambium Networks became a public company only 2 years back. We are listed on NASDAQ under CMBM. You can watch our stock rate. We also acquired the same year, a month after Xeris, and we, thanks to this acquisition, we doubled our Wi-Fi portfolio, and we invested the high density type of equipment, which we totally adopted by now and integrated in our portfolio. We have shipped more than 7 million nodes over the last decade, and we are also involved in IIoT and 5G LAC solution. We will do some launches in the weeks to come. So watch out for the news. We are serving every kind of business when it comes to connectivity with our end-to-end wireless fabric. Whatever the area of deployment that your company is used to be comfortable with, urban, suburban, residential, industrial, or rural area, we are managing both backhauling and indoor-outdoor Wi-Fi. So whatever the distance, whatever the audience, we are connecting people, places, and things. Our portfolio is structured around point-to-point and point-to-multipoint, or legacy product that we started the company with. We had as an addition first, of Wi-Fi equipment, then the switches, and next to that, the IIoT. Why Cambium? for enterprise customers. In my role of, and I didn't introduce myself to start the webinar with, I'm the Director of Strategic Verticals for EMEA. So in Europe, Middle East, and Africa, I'm helping and supporting all the sales regional managers to come up with the right strategy to address the enterprise business, to address vertical by vertical, all the key actors, the key ecosystem partners, to understand, what we need to do as a company, what we need to do as a manufacturer to become one of the reference vendor in this enterprise world. So we have this end-to-end wireless fabric coming from the carrier to the edge, with high performance solution, with a simple cloud management system. I mentioned earlier our freemium business model. So we have our cloud services are coming in two flavors: CNMS2 Essentials. This is the free version of our management platform, and CNMS2 X, the license subscription with additional features, advanced feature you may consider when you are a carrier, when you are a managed service provider, watching after a great number of not only devices but also facilities with an easiness of management. We are definitely offering a best-in-class total cost of ownership, and I'll come back on this and on the tools we are providing you with to understand and to give proof of evidence of this statement. So stay with me. Your one-stop shop for connectivity. This is what we are providing: management platform, switching, and access point. And those are, we are giving you the choice of equipment to use, the choice of management platform to use, and a large choice of switches, of access switches. So should you have already an history with Xerox, with Cambium, or you're new to Cambium, well, you will have different entries for the management platform. Switches, well, you will look at PoE, non-PoE equipment. Probably if you are a carrier, a service provider, or switches for these purposes. And when it comes to access point, and this is where we will start speaking about Wi-Fi 6, the kind of access point you need, whether you're considering an indoor installation, an outdoor installation, and with or without density. And this is one of the criteria we will consider to make this choice a sound choice. Next to that, we have an ecosystem partnership program. This is important, and as you could see in the notice on the graphic on the left-hand side, Cambium is about the management platform, the switching, and the access point, but this is happening in different environments and with some interoperability with other vendors, software or hardware vendors, whether we are talking about healthcare, hospitality, retail, education. We will have to make sure that our wireless network totally embrace the existing devices connecting to the network on the facilities. So just, for you to understand where we are coming from and why, if you don't know already Cambium, why in this environment, why? Because we only introduced Wi-Fi in 2017. Initially, considering small enterprise business, so really SMEs, SMB. Next to that, the WISP business with routers. In 2018, we introduced the hospitality program, a program dedicated to onboard specialized partner involved into hotels, into resorts, into campgrounds, all kind of lodging units, welcoming guests and in need of a fair and speed Wi-Fi connectivity. We followed up the next year with service provider and MSP carrier focus. The acquisition of Xeris that I mentioned, clearly giving us a lead into the education via vertical, but also great references in large public venues. And thanks to our development into municipalities, a very big success in Wi-Fi for EU program, where we have all over Europe deployed about 2,000 municipalities with Cambium Networks equipment. In 2020, we have introduced the healthcare program. So this is not so long, and you will hear more and more about Cambium with great case studies that we are preparing, video and paper case studies. And why am I stressing this? Because this is also the kind of focus that we are now considering: hospitality, healthcare, education, large public venues, and this is where we're good. This is where we are active, but we are also active in other verticals such as oil and gas, industry in general, or defense, but organized around other teams. When you go to the Cambium Networks corporate website, in the partner section, you will see all kind of partners we are engaging with. The resellers, we are selling Wi-Fi 2 for installation on a one-to-one basis. Managed service providers that are not only providing the enterprise connectivity equipment, but also the bandwidth, the broadband with a monthly fee and the management of the network. And finally, the broadband service providers that are clearly focusing on the fixed wireless access world. Any audience will find a program, will find some resources, and the ability to learn more about Cambium use cases. The verticals I mentioned earlier are also coming with a specialty program. This is what I mentioned, and you're seeing here the signature for the system integrators specialized in hospitality, in education, in healthcare, but also the managed service providers and the system integrators focusing on CCTV with our CN Vision portfolio. Wi-Fi positioning. This is why I stopped earlier telling you about our history, because this is explaining why we have this light blue section, the CN Pilot. This is the portfolio we started with 5 years back. The Xeris access point portfolio. This is the additional portfolio that we incorporated back in 2019 and totally integrated, bringing more the identity purposes and clearly a focus on education. And finally, in light green, the Wi-Fi 6 portfolio. So it's all of those are available for purchase, available for development, for deployment. But so we will have to understand when picking one against another. So as you're seeing, you know, the CN Pilot portfolio was more built around value proposition, the Xeris portfolio around the flexibility and the identity, and Wi-Fi 6 portfolio definitely the high performance and identity purpose. This table, you know, I mean, shows more clearly from my perspective what we are offering upon the criteria of use, whether it's value, performance, or identity. And you can see with the use of the two different colors in blue, the CN Pilot range, in orange, the Xeris range, and then in black, highlighted in yellow, the Wi-Fi 6 portfolio. So far, I'm only showcasing here 3 access points. Those 3 access points will be doubled in the year to come. I won't be able to tell you more about this, but expect some more to come. We will be adapting the portfolio to make sure that we come up with the right equipment, whether you're looking for value, for performance, or for identity. Among the free products available now for purchase, you have the XV22 and the XV38. Those were the first introduced a year and a half back, nearly 2 years back now, for Wi-Fi 6 indoor purposes. And we recently introduced and launched the XV2T0, which is an outdoor access point. I really encourage you to look for all the videos available around Cambium equipment on the Cambium Networks YouTube channel. You will see some amazing ground test videos showing the last equipment we introduced, the XV220, where we had amazing results. Yes, in US and not in EU. So we've opening totally, removing the restriction of signal, but where you see against competition and with the same kind of configuration, the kind of performance you can expect from Cambium Networks equipment. So go to YouTube channel, look for Grand Test and the XV2T0, with the one you have on the right hand side. Why Wi-Fi 6? I mentioned earlier identity, high performances. Well, let's go a step back and try to look at the Maslow pyramid and how this meets the basic needs fulfillment with Wi-Fi. Well, as a physiological need, you will need basic Wi-Fi. You will need Wi-Fi for sure. The Wi-Fi became a commodity almost everywhere. It's as important as water and food. Safety and security, well, you will need a secure network. So we're taking this box as well. Social needs, the interaction with social network. This is also the ability to log in with social networks, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or others. Esteem. So this is where you not only look for a basic Wi-Fi, but a high-speed Wi-Fi, and the ability to prioritize people among others, whether they are employees, they are students, they are teachers, upon their profile, deciding who gets what in terms of bandwidth. And then at the top of the pyramid, you have the self-actualization, which is the ability to fully control all the interaction you have with the network, with the surrounding devices. And I think from my point of view, again, this is what we are achieving with Wi-Fi 6 and the identity equipment we recently launched. Look at what is Wi-Fi 6. Wi-Fi 6 is also called 11AX, so 8.2 11AX. As you could see, in 1999, we had the 11B, then the 11AG, 11N, 11AC, and now 11AX. Is it the end of 11AC? No, it is not. Is it the new standard? Yes. Should we expect a new standard after this one? Yes. Why? Because technology is constantly evolving. But definitely what we are now achieving with 11AX is way more density, way more connectivity for an identity of people, an identity of devices, simultaneous connections. And this will clearly enable and facilitate some applications such as Wi-Fi calling, video conferencing, live streaming. So why should you, or when should you consider this? Well, in two particular verticals. Large enterprises, because you will need all those applications, and education. Education is clearly one, from Cambium Networks perspective, one of the very first verticals having welcomed this new technology. Why? Because due to the identity of students in the same room, in auditoriums, and the number of devices they are bringing with them, this is the right environment to deploy Wi-Fi 6. Why the latest Wi-Fi 6 outdoor AP from Cambium? Well, it's definitely a new antenna design. This is a product that we have, as every single product, a product of our own, a product that we have designed and manufactured. What is interesting from this outdoor Wi-Fi equipment is the performance you're getting out of it. The ability also to totally manage the radios, their use, and all the options that we are bringing next to that. In terms of key benefits, well, it's definitely a superior range of connectivity for higher density, but this is when you compare with the Wi-Fi 5 equipment that we are so far deploying, there's no comparison at all, and still for a compelling price and well less equipment required. So this is important because of the performances we are enabling through our equipment. You will need less equipment. So we're getting to the topic of this webinar. How could you make more margin? Well, you will buy our equipment at extremely good price, and then you will need less equipment compared to competition. Let me tell you more about this. I mentioned earlier the YouTube channel, Cambium Networks YouTube channel. Well, I would like you to look at this particular URL showing how our equipment is outperforming competition. And outperforming competition where on a 1 kilometer distance, we were definitely the one achieving this kilometer when we had competitors, stopping, with a signal not being able to keep on. And therefore, you will see it's a 5-minute video where you see at the end, the outcome, what it is: less equipment, less cabling. Of course, we are a wireless connectivity company, less installation cost, a lower maintenance for sure because of the number of equipment you may use, and a lower total cost of ownership. This is an evidence. So this is the outcome of this ground test, where you see the performance in blue of the Cambium outdoor Wi-Fi 6 equipment, achieving still, after 1 kilometer, a 40 meg connectivity, when competitors of similar equipment stop way before. What are the use cases for? I mentioned earlier education. So we're talking about educational campuses, but it's also business campuses, large enterprises, stadiums. We mentioned large public venues, restaurants, concerts, airports, temporary events, wherever you have a multitude of people sitting, standing next to each other with devices that are constantly pinging the network and trying to connect. What are we bringing different? What is our key differentiator as a company? Well, when traditional Wi-Fi is offering different radios turning to 2.4 and 5 GHz, clients without the ability to turn off on those radios, well, at Cambium, we are optimizing the capacity, again, their performance, while deciding which radio we are allocating to which frequency. And therefore, in an environment where you have more devices connecting to 5G, allocating more 5G radios. So really considering the ability to stick to this an identity environment to define, thanks to our software, the radio's frequency and public, and this with our integrated controller embedded into the management platform. Another great, not ground test this time, but test performed by an independent company and published last year. Really interesting, showing how we stand against competition in terms of performance, throughput, pricing, and at the end, we stand definitely among competition in terms of TCO. And I won't name the competitors. You know them. You know the batters you had in the past or you're faced with right now. We are constantly, offering people to use Cambium as an alternative. Why? Because why just an alternative? Why? Well, because once you have tested, trialed Cambium equipment, you won't move away. I'll tell you. You will clearly adopt our equipment. Among many competitors, we are enabling more throughput and twice actually the throughput against other equipment of same kind in Wi-Fi 6 portfolio. So what are the Cambium advantage? Well, based on this comparison, 32% lower 5-year TCO. This is important. 32% lower cost. 500 more 5 gigahertz radios. This is what when I told you earlier about our software defined radios. This is the ability to allocate the radios to right band. Another example, less equipment against competition for the same performance. But if we're talking about performance, it's a higher performance. So 48% lower price. What is the outcome? 64% lower TCO. So we are not bringing that to you without any ability for you to play with this tool. The TCO is a tool that is available on our website. So look for the Cambium Networks TCO calculator, and you will have the ability to compare all the brands that are mentioned in the latest slide, or add a new brand that we should not have considered put down the public price, the discount they're offering you, and you will have a like-for-like comparison in terms of installation cost, licensing, and you will be able to make the right choice of technology based upon this benchmark. We are clearly enabling you to understand why Cambium is so great. Among other differentiator from Cambium, I mentioned earlier the switching portfolio. Well, when using switches along with Wi-Fi 6 equipment, you will definitely save installation cost, save time, save energy. Why? Because among the different features that are really special to Cambium, we have the PBA, the PolyIC based automation feature, which enables all the ports to be plugged with any kind of device you will have defined a configuration for, and so that clearly enables you to send a switch away to a remote facility, and they will just have to plug any device already considered by the network wherever they want into the switch, and that will work. That will be onboarded, updated, and seen in the management system, whether it's CN Maestro or XMS, if you are a former or an existing Xeris user. So using Wi-Fi 6 equipment along with CN Matrix switches will bring you a better margin thanks to the total cost of ownership. I wanted to show you, what kind of expectation you may have when using Cambium Networks. So I mentioned to you our enterprise journey, starting with small enterprises, now addressing large enterprises, even huge enterprises or huge businesses. So I will go from 100 access point deals to 20,000 access point deals. Why? This is important to consider that we are growing and ever growing every year, but we are now targeting bigger and bigger end customers with you, with our distributors, with our partners, with all the system integrators, the managed service providers, the carriers, enabling enterprise sell-through. And this is the type of achievement we end up with. You will see a lot of education wins. Why? Because this is definitely one of the early adopters of Wi-Fi 6 across Europe. And we started with Germany with this around 100, 200 access points to connect students and classrooms. We have a deal of 250 access points, or XV2. This is the entry level, if I may, say the corridor access point. Let's be clear. The Wi-Fi 6 corridor access point that is, largely used. Moving to another part of Germany with this time 400 plus access point, was the Wi-Fi 6 corridor APs, enabling teachers to use their smart screen wirelessly, but also the school boys and girls to connect their laptop, their tablet, whatever use they have. Bear in mind that when managing those equipment with XMS, the former Xeris management platform, we are also enabling the application control, giving priority among different publics and different applications. You are able to switch on, switch off the Wi-Fi in the given environment, whether the auditorium, the classes, the public spaces during class time. Another one interesting, UK, the Scan College Group, we sold 600 plus XV3 or high density Wi-Fi 6 equipment. We have more and more of those. This is in Italy a really large and interesting school, the Scuola Mareschieri e Brigadieri dei Carabinieri. So in short, the military corps of Italy school for officers. So this is interesting. Why? Because not only we sell Wi-Fi 6 equipment for indoor purposes, but also soon to be installed the outdoor equipment. Dynamare Group is an extremely interesting deal with 1,000 equipment installed, 1,000 access point, Wi-Fi 6 access point to connect 22 schools across the Netherlands. So those are, I should say, interesting deal, but the next one is a huge one. And it is important for me to tell you about it. We're talking about 20,000 access points, 15 indoor access point, 5,000 outdoor, and this to connect a nationwide university campuses across Morocco. And it was important for me to tell you about this because you will see more and more of those, more and more of press releases, of case studies coming from Cambium, explaining you why, reminding you why we are definitely interesting to consider as an alternate brand, as your sole brand, should you wish to, in the future. About free marketing, technical and commercial tools, we have a lot of them. I mentioned some during the presentation. Our channel portal is available at channel.cambiumnetworks.com. This is a portal where you will in a few steps register as a system integrator, as a value added reseller, and get access to an entire library of technical database, commercial database, use cases, tools, prices, and so on. So this is just a few steps away. Consider visiting this address. An interesting tool for you, free one as well, not requesting any special registration, just an email from your side. It's Wi-Fi Designer. It's a heat map coverage tool enabling you to upload a PDF map of any structure, of any indoor or outdoor space, and position windows, walls, brick walls, stone walls, and so on. Put apart all the elevators, Faraday cage environment, such as a bathroom and so on. Position the windows, and from there, decide where you should locate the Cambium Networks equipment, whether you're considering CN Pilot, Xeris, or of course, this is the topic of this webinar, Wi-Fi 6 equipment. And thanks to that, you will end up with heat map showing exactly what is the expectation in terms of signal spread with Wi-Fi 6 deployment from Cambium. It will also generate the according BOM, the bill of material you should consider in terms of Wi-Fi equipment and switching. And of course, you from this stage, you will be able to ask your distributor, ask Winncom about a proposal for. Why, if I may come back on the Wi-Fi designer, when you're deciding from one to another, from one equipment to another, from one vendor to another, make sure that this is a wide and sound choice. And quite often, the heat map is definitely helping you understanding what you can expect from one to another. When I've been pitching Wi-Fi 6 for high density purposes, well, if I consider an hotel right now, I may, stick to Wi-Fi 5 in the room. Why? Because we have definitely less density and density of people and density of devices in at this level of the property, when I will definitely, and this is the moment for, move to Wi-Fi 6 for the public spaces where we have way more density of people and devices. This is, this should, become normal way of thinking, more density, Wi-Fi 6, easy as pie. Another free tool, the TCO Profiler, I mentioned it to you earlier, but if you want to go directly without searching, you will look for https://viewer.mediafly.com/Cambium, and from there you will be able to see all the benefits of the key benefits of our equipment, the total cost of ownership, the total Wi-Fi performance, the impact on the environmental impact, the Cambium Wi-Fi access point support against some named competitors, and the ability to add any other that you would be considering. You will end up with a proposal showing the kind of deployment you considering with Cambium, what it means against competitors, and that will definitely help you selling Cambium networks, and therefore making more margin thanks to our prices and to our performance. This is the end of my presentation, and this is the time for a Q&A. This is where I'm inviting Carlos back, and any question to be raised. If Agnieszka want to join, well, you're free to. I'm standing here until someone shows up.
Thank you, Jeff. I think it has been really very interesting. It's really fast, but going to the main topics regarding Wi-Fi 6. This really, I think amazing technology and the future of the Wi-Fi for sure. So we have some questions. Okay, so let's start with them. So the first question, I'm sorry, but I can't pronounce your name. Agnieszka, could you help me?
So I'm seeing the question actually, Carlos. So how do we want to compete against other vendors with only 2 internal devices? Well, as I mentioned earlier, don't consider only the existing portfolio as a sole portfolio for next year. We have called this webinar Making More Margin with Cambium Networks Wi-Fi 6 equipment in 2022. So bear with us. Please, look at what is happening next month, the months after, and you should expect some product launches and new introduction that will definitely fill the gap of the product we should add to our portfolio to match every single product line of our Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 5 existing portfolio. I hope I understood, the question. And I had, in addition, the crisis of the electronic market will severely limit the availability. Yes, the availability of components is something happening for every industry, not only the connectivity world, but the car industry is impacted. Any domestic equipment is impacted by the components shortage. So we are coping with this. This is our key market. This is our business. So we are dealing with that. We are, making sure that we will have the right product next year. We will have also the right prices. So this is why we are making sure that we are not offering our equipment at a premium price. And the second question, programs for partners from other manufacturers give much greater discount. Well, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about this. And again, don't consider discounts in percentage. You should also consider the price for what it, the discounted price, and you end up with, and not the amount of discount you're receiving from other manufacturers. Should we raise our prices to the level of competitors, or public prices, the level of competitors, we will probably end up with the same level of discounts, if not greater. So always compare like for like prices, and not the discount percentage. This is my my advice. And the second part of this question: how are you going to reach to partner migration to other producers, encouraged by better prices and support? Well, as I said, try us, try our equipment, make an opinion for yourself, and you should probably adopt more faster than you thought Cambium equipment. I have a third question. Nowhere are you saying that the main advantage of Wi-Fi 6 is the use of OFDMA. So indeed, it is for sure. But it's a given. This is what any other would offer. This is an advantage. Yeah, you're right. You're right. This was more a commercial presentation than a technical webinar. And should you need any more insight in terms of technical features, technical support, we can organize, and we will be happy to follow up with any one-to-one technical presentation, one-to-one webinar with your company. So yeah, don't be shy. Ask us ask Winncom about this follow-up, and you will get provided with. I'm still looking at the remarks that I saw in the chat.
Okay, there is a typo in XV2. It's not 8x8, it's 2x2.
CN matrix when we deliver more devices with 2.5. I don't understand the last question about CN matrix. I don't. I don't. Okay, and I got discount about 70% for 15 AP. Well, wonderful. With room for what? So
But yes, we have a NFR, a non-for-resale program, in order to test the solution. We have education, we have hospitality, we have a lot of programs in order to support our partners and new partners on board as well. So I think, we welcome everybody to join Cambium and Winncom in order, to test and to deploy Wi-Fi 6 by Cambium instead of other vendors for sure. But as said, Jeff, okay, it's not only price. It's a complete universe of, the best technology, the best support, and, the best players. And you have seen the TCO, and it's not only, line by line, case by case, box by box price. It's overall project. That's what we need.
It is, you're right, Carlos. And this is why I keep people, and I really engage people to go for a POC, for a POC, to trial our equipment, because once you have them with you, once you're playing with CN Maestro, once you are onboarding the equipment, finding out about if they are active or not, what are they needing, how you can organize the management platform around different, multi-tenants, you will see the beauty of using one single management platform for all kind of equipment, whether it's indoor, outdoor, point-to-point, point-to-multi-point, and this is definitely the beauty of CN Maestro. Should we have the right portfolio? I think so. Will we have a better portfolio in the future? Yes. Every year we are adding some equipment. So we will be adding switches. We will be adding Wi-Fi equipment. So it's coming. Yes. So we are not engaging you to be an early adopter. We engage you to trial, get your opinion, find out by yourself whether you like or not Cambium, and I'm sure you will. And from this moment, you will see, it will just be easier and easier. Why? Because we are adding feature to our management platform every year, and we are extending our portfolio, making sure that every criteria you have as a selection for equipment, we will meet it.
Right. I remember when Cambium launched the CM pilot, the first family of that, everybody was saying, hey, you come from the fixed wireless broadband, what the hell you are going to do in the Wi-Fi arena? You were the last ones to come in this war. And right now, Cambium has, a brand name in the market for sure.
And I really encourage everyone to look at the Gartner report, the MQ companion. We are listed for the last 3 years now as one of the vendors for wired and wireless networks. So we are there. We're one of the top 7 vendors in the world. Should you work with us now? That's you to answer, but you will definitely at one point, because of the scale of deployments you're facing with, be facing Cambium equipment. So the earlier you know what is our portfolio about, what are our tools and management platform about, well, it will be more comfortable for you all. Thanks everyone. Thank you, Carlos. And
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you all.